What is going on, everyone? My name is Under the Radar, and welcome back to the Draft League Viabilities. Now, last week we covered two mons that I didn't really like too much. Honestly, I don't really like Bisharp or Samurott. So, this week we're covering two mons that I love, and I'm going to be giving my honest opinion on them and not just my biased opinion on them. So, keep that in mind as I'm going through this. The first mod that I'm going to be talking about this week is something that I think is very important to every single team, and that is Hazard Control, and this one is, in my opinion, one of the best rapid spinners in the entire format. This mon is Starmie. Now, a lot of people, when you talk about Hazard Control and which one is the best in the entire format, it's arguably in between Starmie and Excadrill, because everybody thinks that Rapid Spin is so much better than Defog. It's because you get rid of your hazards without getting rid of their hazards. And there are two Rapid Spinners, and that's Excadrill and Starmie, that are the best. I'm going to give my reasons as to why I think Starmie is the best. So when you look at Excadrill, you have kind of just an offensive mon that can also Rapid Spin. It normally carries Iron Head, Earthquake, Stealth Rock, Rapid Spin. Or it carries Stone Edge or Rock Slide or something like that to hit the opponent, whereas Starmie has like insane amounts of sets and coverage moves and things like that it can run, to where it's unpredictable every single week, to where Excadrill is either going to be bulky with Assault Vest and Rapid Spin, Rocks with Rapid Spin, or Offensive Life Orb, or Choice Scarf. Like, that's about it, to where Starmie can be bulky, Rapid Spin, Cosmic Power Setup, Life Orb, Specs, Scarf. It can be Reflect type. There's so many things that it can do. It could run 4 attacks with Life Orb. It could run Rapid Spin with 4 attacks. It could run Calm Mind. Like, there's so many things that it can do. And then you add into the fact that this thing's move pool is absolutely insane. It has access to Thunderbolt, Grass Knot, Psyshock, Ice Beam, Shadow Ball, Scald, Hydro Pump. It is one of the few mons that gets a special rock type coverage in Power Gem. It gets access to Dazzling Gleam and Flash Cannon to hit fairies. It can hit either side of the defensive side of Psychic or Psyshock, because I don't know if I think I already said Psyshock, but it can hit either side with either one of those moves. It also has access to Thunder Wave. This is also a really cool mon because it has access to anti-setup in Psych Up. So if you're facing, say, Cresselia, they've already set up to +6 in your face, and you want to copy their stats and then beat them with Shadow Ball or Psyshock, because you'll be at +6, they'll still be at neutral defense, and you'll be hitting extremely hard. You have Psych Up, and you can beat other bulky water setup types. It also has access to Signal Beam for mons that are 4 times weak to Bug, and Screens. Now, this is all just some of the moves that Starmie gets, but it has insane coverage. You never know what it's going to bring. You can think that you try to know what it's going to bring, but it can surprise you every single time. And then you prepare for the wrong set and you could be screwed. Like, you prepare for a spec set and then it's Calm Mind. You could be screwed. So it's the type of mon that is so versatile. Its defensive and HP stats are kind of sort of meh, but it's kind of like Clefable. It lives a surprising amount of hits with just a little bit of HP, and is able to reliably heal itself with Recover, along with being able to copy your opponent's typing. So whenever you're facing a mon, sometimes that mon can't hurt itself. So if you're facing, say, a Celebi, and it doesn't have U-turn, if you Reflect type, it cannot touch itself with any type of move. So the second that you copy its typing and you are carrying Signal Beam, you can then beat it 1v1. It's very niche in that role. Having a mon that can be extremely offensive and not have to rely on hidden powers to hit things is extremely important, because you don't have to worry about base 60 power moves to hit things. You now have Ice Beam, you have Thunderbolt, you have Grass Knot, you have Scald, you have all these awesome moves to hit things super hard. I think it makes this thing far superior to Excadrill is its speed stat. It's base 115 speed. It outspeeds almost everything. It speed ties with things like Raikou. It outspeeds a Lottie Twins, Garchomp, outspeeds Superior. It outspeeds a lot of things. So if it can't take a hit, it has to be Scarfed to beat it 1v1. So that's really cool. On top of everything else, Excadrill, in my opinion, has realistically one reliably good ability. and that is Mold Breaker. The reason why I say it's Mold Breaker is because if you do not have Sand, Sand Rush is completely useless. You will never bring it to a game. A buddy of mine named Ruby Marrow, he had Excadrill, he didn't have Sand. He brought Mold Breaker almost every single week, aside from the weeks that he faced a Sand setter, and that person didn't bring a Sand setter, so it was useless. So that's something that I'm also taking into consideration, because Starmie has 2 amazing abilities. Natural Cure. So Natural Cure is something that's very unique, because being able to soak up status and not care about it is crucial when you're facing things like Stall. So you're able to take Thunder Waves, you're able to take Toxics, you're able to take Burns, you're able to take all this other stuff and switch out and be fine. You don't have to worry about it. And then it has an ability called Analytic, which is, if you are the last one to hit or your opponent switches out, the move is boosted by, I think it's 1.3? It might be 1.2, I can't remember, but it's boosted power. So if you're in against a Superior is not Scarfed, you outspeed it, you have Ice Beam, you know for a fact that they're going to switch out, you go for Ice Beam anyway. Even something that is resisted is still going to be taking a lot of damage because you are Analytic. That can also play a lot of mind games, whether you're Specs, whether you're Expert Belt, whether you're Wise Glasses, or anything like that, when realistically you could be Colbur Berry, and you could be able to take a knockoff from, say, Crocodile, which I doubt you can because it's Crocodile, but you get what I'm saying. You can play a lot of mind games with your item just because of the ability. All of these reasonings are why I came to the conclusion that Starmie is the best Rapid Spinner. I have used both Excadrill and Starmie. I would rather have Starmie any day of the week. Starmie is by far my favorite water type. It is also by far my favorite spinner. It is so good at what it does, and it does a lot. So with that being said, what would I pair Starmie up with? Well, I'm glad you asked. First off, I would set it with something that can hazard stack. And the thing that I love pairing Starmie up with the most is Roserade, because something that can take on Starmie pretty well are bulky water types, because you're relying on unstab moves to kill it, and then it's a little iffy on rolls. You have to worry about things like toxicking it and things of that nature if you're running analytics. So if you can have something like Roserade, you have another natural cure user, so you don't care if you get burnt with Scald. You cover its weakness in Ice with Starmie very well. The speed tiers match up perfectly because you have something under base 100 and something over base 110, so they work out perfectly together. You can set up toxic spikes and spikes, so then you don't have to worry about defogging away. It just works out so well. And then on top of it all, you have something that can spam Leaf Storm to destroy bulky water types, which are one of the few things that can match up well against Starmie. Realistically, I think that Roserade is the best matchup with Starmie. I think they go perfectly together. I love the combo. It's one of my all-time favorite things, and I've used it before. It works out perfectly. One final thing that I would want to have with it is a fast Volt Switcher. Much different than a slow Volt Switcher. And the reason I want a fast one is because Starmie is bulky enough to take hits. So if you're able to Volt Switch out with a fast Volt Switcher, you're not taking any damage on your Volt Switcher, which can still do a lot of damage. So like something like Raikou, I used Starmie and Raikou together, worked out amazingly, I loved it. I was able to Volt Switch out, get some good damage, go into Starmie, kill it, because Starmie does hit very hard. I love that about Starmie. So those are the 2 mons that I would really want with it. So a core of like Starmie, Raikou, Roserade. That offensive core is very good. The only problem is it's very special. So I'd also want to pair up a good physical wall breaker, like something like Diggersby, or Scolipede, another hazard setter, and another poison type to destroy fairies. So that's just what I would pair up with it. Overall though, as I said, Starmie, in my opinion, best rapid spinner, so I'm going to give it an A- because I would put this with anything. I would always try to find a way to build around this. I love Starmie. It's amazing. I've never really heard anybody talk negatively about Starmie that have used it, so that's just my opinion on it. But that's basically my opinion on Starmie. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like. Also with a comment on your opinions of Starmie and what you would use to build around it, because I kind of threw out some really good opinions in this video, I think, so make sure you guys let me know down in the description what you guys think. I just said in the description, I totally meant in the comment section, but you guys know what I meant. I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. I hope you guys have an absolutely fantastic day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.